Before going into law school, I was a pastor, and I was invited by other pastors to watch a video, and the video was on abortion. And I was shocked that as a pastor, I did not know about this, that the taking of innocent human life was taking place right in my backyard. And then, of course, that video talked about where all this began, and it began at the United States Supreme Court. One of the things I began to realize is that our faith and the law and policy work together. And either the law and policy supports our faith and allows us to exercise it, or it ultimately sometimes infringes upon it. And so because of those situations, God called me from the pastoral ministry into the legal ministry to be able to maintain the doors of the gospel open so that pastors and God's people can begin to continue to share the gospel without restriction, without blockage, to be able to stand for religious liberty, the sanctity of human life, and the family. So I feel so passionate about my calling. I feel just as passionate that God's called me in the ministry of law as He called me in the ministry to be able to preach in churches and around the world in the pulpits. And in fact, God has blessed me to be able to do both. So I feel that God is calling many people in different professions to be able to stand for Him in all different walks of life. Liberty Counsel was founded by my wife and I in 1989. It's an international religious liberty, litigation, education, and policy organization. We're essentially the opposite, if you will, of the ACLU. We advance religious freedom, advance and protect the sanctity of human life from conception through natural death, and defend God's family, particularly marriage, as the union of one man and one woman. We do this in the courtrooms, we do this through education, and we do this through policy, both in the nation's capital and on the different state capitals all over the country. I am amazed at Celebrate America and the vision and the courage and the faith that Dr. Rodney Howard-Browne has to do this in the nation's capital. It is so necessary and so needed. And as I understand it, this is the first time this has ever happened in our nation's capital, to have such a concentrated effort for prayer and to bring blessing and prayer and conviction and vision here to our nation's capital. So I thank Dr. Rodney Howard-Browne and all the church members with him supporting this. I want to thank you for Celebrate America. It, in fact, is an amazing outreach and an amazing time in America. We really may not have much time left in America, but I believe that we were born and born again for such a time as this. And that's why I believe Celebrate America is so critical, not only in American history, but in world history.